From Heron Park at Brunswick High School, it is High School Baseball live on the Lorain County Sports Network, live on YouTube, featuring the Columbia Raiders taking on the Brunswick Blue Devils. Hi, everybody. Jared Vinecourt joined alongside Max Drummond. Max, both these teams gained some work in before their playoff games tomorrow, and you couldn't ask for a better day with our schedule that we've had this spring.
You got that right. You could say that again, as these conditions are just about picture perfect here from Brunswick, as they're celebrating senior day as well, and like you alluded to, weather impacting the previous time they had that scheduled, so it's nice these guys get one more game here at their home ballpark.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups presented by Brian Baker, a proud supporter of Lorain County High School sports. We start with the starting nine for Columbia. It looks like this. Carter Dooley will lead things off. Logan North will bat second. Logan Mengi in the third spot. He is the DH. In the cleanup spot, Jose Rivera. Jacob Rust, he'll bat fifth. Andrew Sorensen bats sixth. Ryan Smith bats seventh. Carter Hess bats eighth. And Wesley Sanders bats ninth. Let's take a look at the starting nine defensively for Brunswick.
As we look around the diamond, while Brant Almaty out there, Jacob Miller, Elijah Poindexter, Riley Turnick is in the designated hitter spot, but Caden Dreiss also out there, Kyle Smigla, as well as Travis Cornelio, Gavin Moore, and Logan Nettles, also Joey Sheely will be your pitcher on the mound this afternoon.
Joey Sheely this season making his third appearance, has an ERA of 4.67. In 3 innings of work, he's given up 3 runs, 2 of those earned, has only surrendered 1 hit, has walked 7, and has struck out 2. But here's the kicker, Max. Sheely, he has not pitched since April 28th against Walls Jesuit. And in that game, it was not a good one. It was a game Brunswick lost 12-1. Sheely, he gave up 3 runs, 2 of those earned, off of 1 hit. He pitched 2 innings in that game, walked 5, and struck out 1. So it's basically been a month since Sheely has been on the mound.
Yeah, and we'll see how that affects him. It can, and for some people, it can help even after an outing like you mentioned there. So he's also giving this rotation and bullpen a nice chance to have a little bit more rest before that postseason game in the tournament, and that's obviously where you want to be peaking. So interested to see how he responds from that previous start.
As we mentioned, both teams getting reps in before their playoff games tomorrow. The weather has been so bad this spring in Northeast Ohio. Brunswick, they still have a conference game to play in the Greater Cleveland Conference. They're going to take on Cleveland Heights here shortly, if possible, before their playoff game against Glen Oak. And we'll get more into that here shortly, but yeah, they're trying to finish their conference season as playoff is happening.
Yeah, and that always adds an interesting dynamic, as a lot of teams haven't even been able to play their full season as they had hoped.
Carter Dooley steps in. The first pitch is in there for a strike. 78 degrees at game time. Just one umpire today behind the dish. No bases umpire, so that's going to play a key factor into this one, Max.
Yeah, he'll have a lot on his plate here this afternoon, but
Carter Dooley, the senior, he's actually a Lorain County Mr. Baseball nominee, presented by Great Lakes Honda West in Elyria. Take advantage of the Honda Spring event happening now at your local Honda dealer. And Dooley, Max, he is just mashing the baseball this season, batting .462. And he has 19 doubles on the season.
Yeah, leading the team in hits as well, so he's been very productive throughout his senior season.
The 2-1. Ripped down the right field line. It falls for a base hit. Dooley will stop at first. It's a lead-off single for Columbia.
Well, that's a real impressive job there by our right fielder out there, as he was able to get Kyle Smigla able to get that off the bounce and just limit that to a single.
All grass field here at Heron Park. Grass is dried up nicely. Northeast Ohio has definitely needed it with all the rain in the month of April and here in the month of May. Logan North steps into the box. First pitch from Sheely. Low for ball 1. Sheely, the right-hander, the senior, for Brunswick. Brunswick celebrating Senior Day today. 11 seniors for this Blue Devils squad. And Sheely, after graduation, is going to Ohio University. The 1-0. Foul tip. And evens the count at 1-1.
Yeah, it's all an interesting, I assume, tradition for the Brunswick Blue Devils. They were warming up playing catch with, I believe, either some family members or fathers, grandfathers, as they were out there in right field warming up together.
And we've talked about the rain, Max. Brunswick having their senior day today. They were supposed to have it weeks ago, but because of the weather, plans have changed. Dooley's headed to second, and he's in there safely without a throw. He's in scoring position for Columbia.
And you could say he probably didn't even need to slide there, and that's another stolen base added to his total this season. That makes it 12.
Dooley has not been caught. Perfect 12 for 12. He's in scoring position. The 2-1. In there for a strike. Evens the count at 2-2. Logan North on the season, batting .234. Trying to come up clutch early for the Raiders. The 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Got him looking. First strikeout for Sheely. 1 down.
Yeah, you can see the reaction there. It's been a tough zone to read so far here in the early going. And plus, like you said, you're going against a pitcher who there's no film or any kind of sight on him in the last month.
Logan Mengi steps into the box. The junior also plays football for Columbia. Bounced in there. Good block by Cornelio.
And he's been doing a great job behind the plate there, whether play like that or with some of the framing he's been able to do.
Logan Mengi batting .464 this season, Max. And in 74 at-bats, he's only struck out 3 times.
Yeah, he's a guy, if he was a senior, he'd be on that Mr. Baseball watch list for sure.
High, 2-0 the count. Mengi, in Columbia's first playoff game, he pitched 7 innings on the mound, and in the batter's box had 2 hits, including a triple. The 2-0. Good take by Mengi, 3-0.
Well, the patience is being shown off right now by Mengi, and like you talked about, the so few strikeouts, but also able to draw a lot of walks, draw out some counts as well, and it's led to a really great season for him.
14 walks on the team, the second most. There's number 15, and Mengi is on first. Columbia's first 2 out of 3 have reached here to start the ball game.
Yeah, and coming in, we had an idea. We expected we'd see a lot of players on base today and working a lot of counts, and really ideal way to get ready for more postseason games for both sides.
Jose Rivera, the cleanup man, steps into the box. He's got runners on second and first, and he takes a high strike. Rivera on the season, batting .380. He's got Dooley at second and Mengi at first. Fly ball, left center field, on the run, Almaty. And making the catch is the center fielder, Moore. What a spectacular play. Dooley tags the third, and he's in there safely. Mengi holds at first, so now runners at third and first with 2 down.
Well, and Dooley really pushing the envelope there. He's lucky the ball came out, or else it may have come down to the umpire's decision. And like you talked about at the top of the inning, that umpire from home plate, you never know what he might see from that angle.
Just one umpire today here for some high school baseball. Jacob Rust up to the plate. He takes low and away for ball 1. Jacob Rust, the senior for Columbia, had a single and an RBI in the playoff game against Newton Falls.
An interesting start there for Sheely. Most of his at-bats so far have started with a strike right there. Starts down in the count.
The 1-0. Mengi headed to second, and Russ fouls it back. Evens the count at 1-1. Columbia, they come with a record of 12-8, 7-7 in the LC8s, and they are the number 15 seed in Division 6, Region 13, part of the Northeast 4 bracket, and they played Newton Falls, the 20 seed, in their first playoff game, and they won 5-4 in walk-off fashion. The 1-1. Mengi headed to second. Outside. Mengi steals second uncontested. 2-1 the count on Rust.
And I felt like that was coming after how last pitch went. That Rust was going to be taken all the way there, and it pays off. Back in front now, 2-1 count.
The 2-1. Low, 3-1 the count on Rust. Rust coming into today batting .260. The 3-1. Bounced in there for ball 4. Second walk of the inning issued by Sheely, and bases are loaded for Columbia here in the first.
Yeah, it's interesting there because Rust, I mean, he came in with roughly a .260 batting average. Now you turn to Sorensen, which we'll talk about in a moment, and he has a much higher average this season.
Andrew Sorensen batting .308 this season. Takes a high strike.
As he steps back in here.
Can't hear you. The 0-1. Ripped to second. Fires over to first to end the inning. So Columbia threatens, but they do not score. We'll head at the bottom of the half. No score here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Bottom of the first, no score. Let's take a look at Brunswick's starting 9 offensively. It looks like this. Brant Almaty will lead it off. Jacob Miller will bat second. Elijah Poindexter in the 3 spot. Riley Turnick, the designated hitter, bats 4th. Caden Dreiss bats 5th. Kyle Smigla bats 6th. Travis Cornelo bats 7th. Gavin Moore will bat 8th. And Logan Nettles will bat 9th. Let's take a look at the starting 9 defensively for Columbia.
As we look around the diamond, we've got Carter Dooley out there at shortstop alongside Logan North at second base, Jose Rivera in center field, Jacob Rust in left field, over in right field's Wesley Sanders. Rounding out the infield, Carter Hess at first, Ryan Smith at third, and Andrew Sorensen will do the catching.
John Conlon, he will get the start for Columbia on the mound. Both teams using different pitchers here today to save their pitchers for the playoff games tomorrow. And Conlon, he's making his first varsity start, Max, here today against Brunswick.
Yeah, it's always an exciting feeling, and then especially do it as a freshman. So who knows? You don't know what you don't know, right?
His first batter, Almaty, takes a high strike. Looks like we're going to have a high zone here today, Max.
Yeah, these pitchers, they get the opportunity to work, and if honestly you're working your way into the varsity or getting back into it, no better umpire to ask for.
The 0-1, bounced in there. Good stop by Sorensen. Brant Almaty, 2 for his last 6 with an RBI. Comes into today batting .368 for the Blue Devils. Ripped to right field for a base hit. So both teams start the first inning with a lead-off single. And Brunswick has their leadoff man aboard.
Well, Almaty, he's a guy, over 400 on-base percentage, so you figure one way or another he's going to get out there, and that's exactly why they have him in that leadoff spot.
Up to the plate, Jacob Miller. Miller 2 for his last 12 with 2 RBIs. Batting .255 on the season. As drawing a throw back over is Almaty. He's back in there safely. Brunswick, they are the number 10 seed in the Division I Northeast 3 Region 1 bracket. And they come into today with 11-13 record. And in their first playoff game, they will take on the number 3 seed Glen Oak. And if they win that game, they will either face the 2 seed Strawnsville or the 9 seed Canton McKinley in the district championship. As Miller got hit by the pitch, just grazed him. So Brunswick has their first 2 aboard here in the bottom of the first.
Well, hey, the way I see it, if you're Conlon, you got to get out there and kind of experience everything the varsity level has to offer. And he tried a pickoff attempt. He's throwing some pitches on the outside the zone there, and then you get your first hit by pitch. Everything's a first, right? And
this is a first facing a dangerous hitter, Elijah Poindexter. He's 2 for his last 12, but earlier this season he had a 9-game hitting streak, and he also had a 4-hit game against Menor earlier this season. So this man is a dangerous hitter at the plate right now. The 0-1. High. Evens the count at 1-1.
This will be interesting to see how they decide to work this count and attack him here, or how much they make him work for it.
The 1-1. Just a tad low, 2-1. We mentioned Brunswick, they haven't played a playoff game yet. Their last game was against North Ridgeville last week on the road. Lost that game 6-1. Good breaking pitch there by Conlon, and evens the count at 2-2. So how do you like that, Max? Brunswick is facing back-to-back Lorain County opponents. Good for us.
Yeah, that's right. As that was even on the radar, like going into last weekend as one to cover.
2-2 is low, 3-2 the count. Brunswick, part of the Greater Cleveland Conference, currently in 4th place in the conference standings. Medina leading the way at 21-4.
This Amherst just beat them not too long ago. Competitive conference over here.
Foul, third base side, and we'll redo it at 3-2. And Brunswick, even though the record doesn't show it, Max, Brunswick is a very good team. They lost in close games against Medina 2-1 and 3-2 earlier this year. And one of their pitchers, Jackson Briggs, threw a complete game against Medina.
Man.
But the offense just wasn't enough.
Yeah, that's something they'll look to improve on, it, especially in a game like this, to maybe by the time that postseason game rolls around, your bats are a little bit more active.
We redo it at 3-2. The payoff pitch. Fly ball, center field. Camping under it is Rivera. And he makes the catch for out number 1. Jose Rivera, he's actually been in the outfield a lot this season, Max, but he's made 75 starts in right field, 4 in left field. This is his first start of the season in center field.
Yeah, and that, I mean, it depends who you ask, but that could be considered the toughest one. A lot of ground to cover, a lot of responsibility out there, but we know from football he's got a lot of speed.
Riley Turnick up to the plate, the designated hitter. Swings and misses for strike 1. And, yeah, when you're into center field, you have a little different routes to run in the outfield, covering both the gaps. Rivera, he's also played shortstop and has played catcher this season as well, but making his first start in center here today. High. Evens the count at 1-1.
And how about Conlon so far? I mean, being able to bounce back from the first 2 guys getting on, taking on the type of hitter he did, and now even it back up 1-1 count.
The 1-1. Good breaking pitch, just a tad low. Great take by Turnick.
Yeah, it took a lot to resist going after that one, but probably would not have ended well for Turnick there.
The 2-1. Called a strike. Evens the count at 2-2. Almaty at second, Miller at first. The 2-2. Called! Strike 3. Turnick knew it, and there are 2 down.
And a really great response here after the first 2 gone, 2 straight outs, and it also speaks to the job Sorensen's doing, working with this pitcher for the first time in Conlon, and they're starting to build a little bit of rapport there and figuring out what he likes, and now you got a chance to get out of the inning.
Caden Dreiss up to the plate. Dreiss, he's not had a lot of bats this season, just 0 for 3 this season at the plate. He only had 3 at-bats, and that was against Medina Highland. He's played in 7 games, though, this season. He takes a high strike, evens the count at 1-1. He hasn't played since May 18th when he had those 3 at-bats against Medina Highland. So really getting some good reps here today, Max. As he rips it down the left field line, fair ball. Almaty rounds third. He comes in to score. Moving all the way to third is Miller. And into second with an RBI double is Caden Dreiss. And it's 1-0 Brunswick.
Yeah, and right before the pitch, you mentioned these are some great reps, especially for guys like that who haven't been able to see the varsity field as often throughout 2026. And right there, he's showing maybe he can lend a hand off the bench when it comes postseason time.
Brunswick strikes first. 1-0 as Kyle Smigla comes up to the plate. Smigla 0 for his last 9 at the plate. The 1-0. Just misses outside, 2-0.
A tough break there on the outside the strike zone for Conlon, and here you just whatever it takes. You don't want to give up any more damage here, obviously.
The 2-0. Good breaking pitch, evens the count at 2-1. Yeah, good point, Max. You want to minimize the damage now. If you're Conlon, a lot of pressure making your first varsity start, obviously, but trying to get out of damage here. Foul ball, third base side, and it goes out of play.
There goes the footsteps here of every volunteer that wants to go help track that down.
2-2 the count. Yeah, good crowd here today at Heron Park for Tuesday. The 2-2. Low. Full count on Smigla.
It's one of those high-pressure situations here, and you won't know how you respond to it until you're actually a part of it. So we'll see what Conlon and Sorensen have in store here.
The 3-2. Popped up, back out of play. This is a nice facility here at Heron Park. You have the softball field right next to us. You also have a Little League field next to us, and then you have a football field as well to practice on. That's not part of the Brunswick High School facilities. Fouled back out of play once again. And Smigla is putting up a good at-bat.
That goes to that practice football field you were talking about, and just over yonder, the high school varsity stadium. And we actually got to come out here for WDLW on the radio for high school football playoffs, as Brunswick has hosted several neutral site games.
Fouled back. Smigla gets a piece of it, and we'll redo it at 3-2.
And that's the important part, too, for even the guys that are everyday players, everyday starters, is working on situational hitting, and this is certainly turning into a very key at-bat.
The 3-2. Smash down the right field line. It is foul. Wow. Just inches from hitting the chalk. And we'll do it again at 3-2.
Shout out to our home plate umpire there, able to get up quickly and get his eyes on it, because that was moving in a hurry even though it was drifting.
Smigla putting up a good fight here against John Conlon, making his first varsity start of the season. The payoff pitch. Fly ball, center field. Rivera camping under it. And makes the catch to end the inning. Brunswick, they strike first on the RBI double by Caden Dreiss. They lead early 1-0. You're watching the Lorain County Sports Network on YouTube. Top of the second, rather. Brunswick leads 1-0. 7, 8, 9 due up for Columbia. Smith, Hess, and Sanders. Beautiful day here at Heron Park. 78 degrees at game time. Jared Vinecourt joined alongside with Max Drummond. The last game of the regular season, Max. It's been a fun and interesting spring.
Yeah, and it's probably, we can say that for most teams in the area, but certainly for our coverage, as it's been a real fun time doing our first, I'll call it our inaugural season of full coverage here in the spring. And we've still got some all-star games, though, that we'll be getting out to in June.
Make sure you stay tuned for that on all our social media pages, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Ryan Smith, the sophomore, will lead things off. Takes low for ball one. Ryan Smith this season batting .204. And the sophomore having a fine season for the Raiders. Ripped back up the middle for a base hit. So just like the first inning, Columbia has their leadoff man aboard to start the second.
You know, obviously they weren't able to add anything to the scoreboard just yet, but the fact that you were able to get some guys on base and see a couple counts get worked definitely gives you some confidence here for the rest of this ball game.
Carter Hess up to the plate. Hess just 4 at-bats coming into today. Or 3 at-bats, rather. 3 at-bats coming into today, 1 for 3 on the season. Getting the start here today for Columbia. Bounced in there, and that gets away from Cornelo, and heading to second is Smith.
Yeah, and that's stolen base number 5, and that's something they've had to do is work small ball as the season has gone on. So we'll be surprised if we see more of that throughout the afternoon here.
The 2-0. Outside, and that gets off of Cornelio's glove, and all the way to third it goes Smith.
The ball even getting stuck there under the backstop, so he didn't even have a chance to have it bounce back his way and try to make the throw at third.
So that one's a pass ball. That's on Cornelio. And Smith is all the way at third, 90 feet away from tying this game early. 3-0 the count. Hess takes for ball 4. Runners at the corners for Columbia here to start the second. They had bases loaded in the first, couldn't score as Wesley Sanders comes to the plate. Also a sophomore for Columbia. Plays football for the Raiders as well, as he's looking to deliver big here for the Raiders. Batting .260 on the season. He takes high for ball 1. We've seen him on the gridiron, Max. He is a fast running back for the Raiders.
Yeah, he certainly is, and they're such versatile athletes as well, so it's no surprise it translates real well to the diamond as well.
Swings and misses to even the count at 1-1. Sheely trying to get out of trouble here just like he did in the first. The 1-1. Fouled back behind home plate and out of play.
Yeah, I think just about landed in the other field. Yeah, it made it over to the softball field over there?
The Little League field.
Little League field, yeah, so it just went quite the distance.
You'll have a few of those. 1-2 the count on Sanders. The 1-2. Dropped in there for a high strike. Sanders is out looking. Second strikeout for Sheely.
And ahead of that at bat, I thought at the top there, the point of we got to see how Conlon responded to some adversity and being put in a bit of a jam. Now we'll get to see Sheely and what he chooses to do right there. He was patient with that, not really attacking the zone every pitch, but came out on top by the end.
Carter Dooley up to the plate, drawing a throw back over is Hess. He's in there safely. One down for the Lorain County Mr. Baseball nominee. He had a single and a stolen base his last time up back in the first.
Yeah, it's interesting. Hess only one stolen base on the season, so he's threatening here. We'll see if he does anything.
Ripped back up the middle. The second baseman, Nettles, can't glove it cleanly, and there is no out. Scoring from third is Ryan Smith, and Columbia has tied it at 1.
Yeah, that was a tough spot for him as he initially lost it out of his glove. I believe he was trying to look over to the bag to see if his shortstop was going to be there, and that's what made him lose track of the ball while it was on the ground.
So Columbia says thank you. They take advantage of the error, and that brings up Logan North. North struck out looking his first time up. Back up the middle, Sheely fires to second, and he's out there at second. No throw over to first. Moving over to third is Hess, and North is awarded the fielder's choice, and there are now 2 down.
Well, right there, you could tell the hesitation. In his mind, he knew he wanted to turn 2, but you never know how quickly or how fast that runner on first is getting there, so it's fortunate there for Brunswick to secure an out.
And you talk about the one umpire we have here today, Max. If there was a base umpire, that possibly could have been a different call because that was close.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough call to make from that far away.
Logan Mengi takes ball 1, had a walk and a stolen base. His last time up, the designated hitter here today for the Raiders. I'm sure he'll get the start tomorrow in the playoff game against Chippewa, facing the 3 seed. The 1-0. Back up the middle. The shortstop, Miller, flips over to second, and that will end the inning. Columbia ties it. They take advantage of the error by Brunswick, and we are squared at 1 as we head to the bottom of the second on the Lorain County Sports Network. One our score as we head to the bottom of the second. 7, 8, 9 due up for Brunswick. Travis Cornelo will lead things off. Cornelo hasn't played since May 15th. He's only played in 2 games this season. Back on May 15th against Avon Lake and back on April 13th against Lorraine. He's just 1 for 2 at the plate.
He does have an RBI on that hit. Won't get a chance to recreate that right here, being the leadoff. But
it's an RBI single. And he takes a first pitch strike. We talked about it at the top of the hour, Max. A lot of players that normally aren't on the varsity squad are playing here today to get some reps in before the playoff game tomorrow, and especially in the box, that's what Cornelo's doing.
And he's had a chance, obviously, behind the plate, and you never know how important a backup catcher is until you need one.
The 0-2. Bounced in there. 1-2 the count. John Conlon doing the same thing, the right-hander for the Raiders, making his first varsity appearance this season. Both teams saving their pitchers for the playoffs. Foul back. Brunswick, if they win their playoff game against Glen Oak, they will head to the district championship along with Columbia. If they win their playoff game against Chippewa, they will head to the district championship and either face the 8 or 9 seed. That's on the ground is short. Tough play for Dooley.
Oh, man.
And gets him in time. What a backhand strike by Carter Dooley. And there is one down.
You know, I knew he was going to be able to secure it. We know his glove is solid, but the arm right there to zip it across the diamond the way he did, that was special. And he's not a one-trick pony. That's why. When you're a nominee, you got to do a lot of things good to be in that consideration for Mr. Baseball. And obviously, Dooley meets that criteria.
Fired a strike over from short to get the first out of the inning. Gavin Moore up to the plate, takes high for ball 1. Plays football for the Blue Devils. Hitless in his last 3 games, though. High, 2-0 the count. Going back to the possible district championship for Columbia, they will either take on the 8 seed Rittman or the 9 seed Mineral Ridge in that district championship game if they can beat the 3 seed Chippewa tomorrow.
Either way, we know they're going to get some traveling on no matter how far it is they go.
Yeah, Division 6, you never know where you're going to go. The 3-0 delivery. Bounced in there for ball 4. First walk issued by Conlon today, and Brunswick has a 1-out base runner.
Yeah, and that's something Gavin Moore, throughout the season, 18 walks drawn to just 16 strikeouts. So obviously he was taken all the way.
Logan Nettles takes low for ball 1. Nettles 2 for his last 8, but overall has had a good season, batting .342 in 15 games this season for the Blue Devils. Throw back over to first, back safely is Moore.
And he's also contributed to some nice power Brunswick has shown off this year.
Good take there by Nettles, 2-0. Yeah, you're right, Max. Nettles, 13 hits, has a couple doubles.
Not to mention that homer that's contributed to around double-digit homers this year for the team.
In there for a strike, 2-1. And the way the ball is carrying today with no wind here at Heron Park, we could possibly see one go out.
No, I'd be looking forward to it. That 360 to center, that does look like it's going to take a lot of muscle to pull that off.
We don't have to hit to center. We can
Very
hit to left or right.
We've seen a couple get close here today.
The 2-1, runner goes. Swing and a miss. The throw to second, not in time. Moore steals second. He's in scoring position. 2-2 the count on Nettles.
Well, we now know why he was throwing over to first base quite a bit. Is It was a great jump there from Moore.
The 2-2. Fouled back behind home plate and out of play. Yeah, Moore this season, that was just his second stolen base.
Yeah, and looking at their team stats as a whole, they haven't attempted to do much on the base paths in that sense.
Swing and a miss. Second out for Columbia. Yeah, Brunswick coming into today only has 12 stolen bases as a team, and that could be a part of it being that they haven't been able to generate a lot of offense this season. That could be a reason why they don't steal that many bags, or they just don't like to run in general. But heading to third is Moore. He gets in there safely, and he'll hold there.
Right there, it looked like for a moment Sorensen had lost the ball. So heads up play by Conlon, who, you can take for granted covering home plate, but you got to remember, everybody, we've said it several times, that's a guy making his first start on the mound. Heads up play.
Brant Almaty up to the plate, had a single his first time up, came around to score. As he chops it to third, Smith has it, fires over to first, and throws out Almaty to end the inning. Brunswick, they threaten but do not score. We'll head to the third, 1-1 our score. Our score as we head to the third here at Heron Park. 4, 5, 6 due up for Columbia, Rivera, Rust, and Sorensen. Jared Vinecourt joining alongside Max Drummond in the final game of the season on the Lorain County Sports Network on YouTube. Rivera flew out his first time up. Takes a strike. This is now the longest outing of the season for Joey Sheely in his third appearance. Back up the middle, off the glove of Sheely. Fires over to first. And he's called safe. Rivera beats it out. A hustle infield single for Rivera.
We've alluded to a few of those close calls, and that may have been the most impactful of no umpire or officiating member out in the infield there. So Rivera's hustle pays off.
So for the third straight inning, Columbia has had their leadoff man aboard. Jacob Rust had a walk his first time up. Takes a strike.
Some strong pitches to start this inning. So far from Sheely is, like you said, extending his career high here. Maybe he's trying to see how much he can push the limits of his arm here.
The 0-1, fouled back and out of play behind home plate. 0-2 the count on Rust. Be wary of Jose Rivera. He has 24 stolen bases this season. He's been caught 3 times. He has the most stolen bases on the team for Columbia. Could be a threat to go at first.
Yeah, you can tell he's definitely
got a big lead.
thinking about it.
He goes, pitches outside, make it 25 for Jose Rivera. He steals second uncontested.
I would be interested to know what the school record book looks like for that statistic. I mean, he's got to be getting in the neighborhood of that record.
Even for Lorain County.
Yeah, for a single season. No doubt.
The 1-2. Fouled back behind home plate and out of play. So Jacob Russ putting up a good at-bat against Joey Sheely. Sheely in his first appearance pitched an inning, and then in his second appearance pitched 2 innings. So this is the longest he has gone this season, and we'll see how long he lasts if Columbia can make him pay here in the third. Called strike 3. Russ is out looking. First out of the inning.
Kind of the opposite of his first at bat, where he was able to get ahead in the count early and draw a walk right there. Sheely able to get on him early with the strikes.
Andrew Sorensen up to the plate, grounded out his first time up. The first pitch to him, chopped right to Sheely. He goes to first, throws out Sorensen. Head to third is Rivera, and there are 2 down.
Yeah, heads up speed there, and we do have an eye on the single season stolen base record. That may not be touched ever, Jared.
So it happened in the year 2000 with Open Door, player by the name of Matt
Rassatano.
Wow. Had 76 stolen bases. That is the record according to a quick Google search.
Well, and thank you, John G., for bringing that to our attention. It's wow.
I don't think I've even stolen 76 bases in my life, let alone in one season.
Yeah, I've never swiped. You could add up my entire life from here on and the rest of it, and I'm not getting there. Holy cow.
Ryan Smith up to the plate, had a single his last time up. Fouls it back and off the pole near the first base foul line. Evens the count at 1-1.
Yeah, just for one more moment on that, Rassatano still coaching here in the county. I know we've run into him this season, so next time we'll have to give him a
we'll have to ask him what the secret
kudos.
is.
Yeah.
Rivera at third, 2 down. The 1-1. In there for a strike, 1-2 the count on Smith.
And the response from Sheely this inning has been really commendable. Both pitchers really growing in their roles on the mound here today.
The 1-2. Got a piece of it and stays alive. Excuse me, check swing paid off there, Max.
Yeah, he was able to get just enough of it. It's funny. It's tough to tell from here if that would have been in the zone anyway or not, but I'm sure Smith is happy with how it went.
The 1-2. Back up the middle and through for a base hit. Rivera comes in to score, and Columbia has their first lead of the ball game.
Yeah, for Sheely, the last one that came his way up the middle, it was a somewhat easy snag, but right there, just out of his reach, and it's just enough to get Rivera in.
So Ryan Smith, a sophomore, a perfect 2 for 2 to start the day for Columbia. Carter Hess up to the plate. Takes low for ball 1.
The last time Smith was out there, he was able to get a pair of stolen bases, so see if he tries to add to that here.
Sheely, a long pause here. In the dirt, 2-0.
That was quite the snag that time from Dreiss. Cornelo to even get behind. It looked like he was behind Hess there to catch that one.
Yeah, here at Heron Park, there's a big backstop, so want to block everything in front if you're a catcher. Chopped to short. Miller will go to first, and a nice pick by Dreiss to get the final out of the inning. But Columbia takes their first lead of the ball game here today thanks to an RBI single by Ryan Smith. They lead 2-1. 2-1 our score. Columbia leads as we head to the bottom of the third on the Lorraine County Sports Network live on YouTube. Jared Viancourt joining alongside Max Drummond. 2-3-4 due up for Brunswick, Miller, Poindexter, and Turnick. If you're just joining us, Brunswick, they took the early 1-0 lead in the first. And then Columbia has answered with 2 and took the lead in the top half of the inning. Jacob Miller steps in, was hit by a pitch his first time up. Takes high for ball 1. If you're just joining us, Columbia, they won their first playoff game against the 20 seed Newton Falls. They won that game in walk-off fashion, 5-4. And we were talking with head coach Dan Durante before the game. He said that Columbia was losing 4-3 to start the 7th inning. And you can only pitch 125 pitches as a pitcher in Ohio high school baseball. Newton Falls pitcher reached that limit in the 7th inning with runners on first and second and nobody out. They brought in a new pitcher. Columbia tied the game with an RBI single and then eventually walked it off with a bases-loaded hit by pitch. Can you believe that, Max?
More magical ending if you could write it yourself.
Columbia, last year, they lost in the district semifinals to Rootstown, and they are trying to do better than they did in 2025. They're going to have a tough opponent against Chippewa tomorrow, but we'll be rooting for the Raiders.
That we will, and we'll see if they can try to make their way into the state-wide bracket.
The 3-2. Just a tad low. Miller draws the leadoff walk to start the third.
And that's a tough way to end that bat there. If you're Conlon, you work your way all the way back into it, and it was a real solid pitch right there, just a little bit out of the zone, and now he's got another task on his hand here with Poindexter.
Poindexter flew out his first time up. We talked about his amazing hitting streak earlier this season. Comes in today batting .312. He is one of the 11 seniors here for Brunswick today, and after graduation, he wants to go to trade school and become an electrician. Fly ball, left center field. On the run is Rivera at the track. Makes the catch. Ooh. One down.
Second time he's given the baseball a ride here. And right there, I mean, in a lot of stadiums in Northeast Ohio, I imagine that's out of here. That's a homer. But on their home stadium, still an impressive ride on it.
And we talked about Rivera making his first start in center. He's seen a lot of action already here early.
That's a good point.
Riley Turnick up to the plate. Struck out looking his first time up. Drawing a throw back over is Miller. He's back in safely. As we mentioned, Brunswick, they don't run a lot. Miller doesn't even have a stolen base. So, high fly ball, deep right center field. Rivera at the track, at the wall. It's gone. So the first one stayed in the ballpark. This one did not. It's a 2-run home run for Riley Turnick, and Brunswick retakes the lead. It's 3-2 Blue Devils.
And he really had to go down low to get that pitch, as we'll see the celebration here. And he was still able to drive that all the way out right by that scoreboard there, and huge momentum play there for Brunswick.
And it didn't even look like Turnick hit that ball that hard.
The previous one looked
that
further,
sounded
right?
louder.
Yeah.
The previous one sounded louder. Turnick, he put a good swing on the ball, obviously, but that didn't sound as loud as Poindexter's flyout.
Yeah, just sometimes the baseball, it's got a mind of its own once it's in the air there, and impressive swing.
Maybe it's carrying in right field, but there's not really a breeze here today at Brunswick High School.
As you can see the flag out there is not doing too much. If anything, right now it's going a little to the left.
Towards left field.
Yeah.
Caden Dreiss, he started the scoring with an RBI double. Takes low, 2-0 the count. Dreiss coming into today only had 3 at-bats, but has done good here so far today against the Raiders. High fly ball, center field. Coming in is Rivera, And now playing it off a bounce is Jacob Rust. A little miscommunication there by Rust and Rivera. It falls for a base hit.
You know, I can't tell if it was because of the way maybe he was looking at it. He didn't get a good look at it off the bat, but Dries just forced to stay at first there. As by the time he rounded it, Rivera was getting ready to throw it in.
So Rivera, in his first center field start, wasn't able to communicate well with Rust out there and left. Taking a first pitch breaking ball for a strike is Kyle Smigla. Flew out his first time up.
And that's an important pitch right there if you're Conlon to get back in that strike zone. Is start the last at bat with 2 balls.
Just a tad low.
So that's all you can really do at this point is just start trying to regain your confidence a little bit. Still just a 1-run game here, and you do have an out on the board there to help your cause.
The 1-1. Just a tad high, 2-1. And we'll have to see how long the leash is on John Conlon here today, making his first varsity start. Bounced in there, good stop there by Sorensen. 3-1 the count. Sorensen, the primary catcher for Columbia, has thrown out 2 base runners this season if Dries decides to go. Ball 4. Last 3 have reached for the Blue Devils. And now we'll bring up Travis Cornelo.
Yeah, it may have been picked up by our crowd mic there, but yeah, his catcher Sorensen just checking in on him. Making sure his head's right where he needs to be on the mound here, and obviously you can get some nice force outs here with 2 guys on.
In there for a strike. Cornelo grounded out his first time up. It should have been a base hit, but Carter Dooley made a fantastic play at short.
Got that right.
Corners in for Columbia. Fouled back behind home plate and towards us. It almost hit the crowd mic.
I'm glad there wasn't a camera on us there because I may or may not have jumped back right
Oh, you're not used to that, aren't you?
No, sir. No, I don't. Especially now with calling balls and strikes. I'll leave that up to you.
Well, yeah, if there wasn't a net there, it was either going to hit me or you.
Yeah.
So
50-50.
0-2 the count. The pitch from Conlon. Just misses the top of the zone, 1-2.
And the unfortunate part for Conlon, he's getting a lot of good pitches off right here. It's just all about trying to work that zone on a day-to-day basis. That's what you find at the varsity level, right?
The 1-2. Cornelo able to get a piece of it. I'll redo it at 1-2. Dries at second, Smigla at first. Columbia has already given up 2 in the inning off a 2-run homer by Riley Turnick. Just misses.
Now that count even back up. Obviously, you started with the 2 strikes. If you're Conley, you trying to get him to chase out of the zone here? What's your call, Jared?
I'm going fastball here. Chopped foul, third base side. Did go with the fastball.
That he did. Almost worked out for him, but we'll have another chance here, though, as little Cornelo.
If Conlon's able to locate that curveball on the outside corner, that's what I would go with here next. The 2-2. High cheese. Cornelo doesn't bite. Full count. A payoff pitch. High fly ball. Deep left center field. Rivera on the track. Makes the catch. 2 down. Runners hold at second and first. That'll bring up Gavin Moore. Moore walked his first time up, had 2 stolen bases. Also plays football for the Blue Devils. Takes high for ball 1.
And this high this kind of situation or high-pressure situation. The first time he's dealing with this, but also the first time a few of these hitters we'll see are going to deal with it on a varsity situation.
Chopped third base side, and Smith will step on the bag to end the inning. Brunswick, they retake the lead thanks to a 2-run homer by Riley Turnick. Led of the fourth here at Heron Park. Top of the fourth, Columbia down 3-2 over Brunswick here at Heron Park. 78 degrees at game time. We had some sunshine earlier, but has turned into a humid, cloudy afternoon.
As we get the occasional breeze, as we talked about, it's really just coming and going, nothing real consistent to it. So we'll see if Columbia's bats get that advantage of it, or if it kind of sits down for a bit here.
Brunswick, big campus here. The high school is in front of us. We have the football field and the softball field behind us, and they're actually building a new high school for Brunswick as well to the tad left of us. Yeah,
not to mention you got Tri-C, part of their campus over there too.
Big community here in Brunswick. As swinging and missing for strike one is Wesley Sanders. He struck out looking his first time up. 9-1-2 due up for Columbia. The 0-1 from Sheely. Fly ball down the right field line, but there to make the catch is Smigla for out number one. So that'll bring it back to the top of the order. Carter Dooley reached on air his last time up. Had a single back in the first.
I think you pointed out they've been able to get leadoff singles the first 3 innings. First time Sheely's got that first batter out.
And this is the man you want up to the plate to really start a rally in Carter Dooley. He had 3 hits last game against Newton Falls in the playoff game, an RBI and a triple. Bounced in there, and there goes the mask of the home plate umpire. Look out. You could hear the thud from back here.
Yeah, at first I was trying to follow where the ball went, and all you had to do was find the mask. Pop out on your screen most likely. And I hope he's getting double pay, pulling double duty in, dealing with that.
The 1-1. Line to the second baseman, and making the catch is Nettles for out number 2.
Yeah, for as much momentum as he had on the swing there, really wasn't able to get the ball to go too far out of the infield. May have hit the inside of the bat.
Did think Dooley got jammed there. Logan North up to the plate. Reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. 0 for 2 on the day. The 1-0. High 2-0.
You know, despite missing a couple games this season, he's been a real big contributor with runners on base and in scoring position. So we'll see how he reacts here with the bases empty, having to try to start the run.
It's always harder to start a rally with nobody on versus runners on
And
for any baseball player.
You know that pitcher is feeling a bit more confidence, and for Sheely, this could be his most successful inning of the game so far, you could argue.
His longest outing of the season, that's for sure. Coming into today, the most he's pitched in one appearance is 2 innings, and now he's here in the 4th. Taking all the way is North, 2-1. Sheely just making his 3rd appearance of the season, pitched 1 inning in his 1st appearance and 2 innings in his 2nd appearance. And so far here, 3 2/3 in appearance number 3. Inside, 3-1. And apparently
He'll take his base.
The scoreboard had 2-1 like us.
So we'll see him on first. Now Mangy, that's huge though. Mangy will be on have a chance here with 2 outs.
Mengi a walk, a stolen base, reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. As he fouls it back out of play. Logan Mengi this season at the plate for Columbia, 12 extra base hits, and he has 7 RBIs with 2 outs. The 0-1. Low. 1-1 the count on Mengi.
As he looks over to Coach Durante at third. He's definitely been one of the standout players here for the Raiders this season, real catalyst for a lot of their success.
The 1-1. Lifted high in the air to left field. Almaty camps under it and makes the catch to end the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the half here at Heron Park. Brunswick still leads 3-2. Bottom of the 4th, Brunswick leads 3-2. 9-1-2 due up for the Blue Devils. We're going to get a pinch hitter for Logan Nettles to start the inning. Nolan Burke will lead things off for Brunswick. Burke with his first plate appearance here at the varsity level.
So you get some encouragement from the dugout.
Fouls it out of play, first base side. We talked about the history of Brunswick a little bit earlier, Max.
Mm-hmm.
The Blue Devils, they actually have some players in professional baseball. Most recently, 2020 grad and right-handed pitcher Scott Rouse. He went on to go pitch at Kentucky after graduating from Brunswick in 2020, and he actually signed with the Seattle Mariners earlier this month. And he's actually now pitching with the Inland Empires, the low A affiliate of the Seattle Mariners.
And you know what? That speaks to the dedication of that journey, being over half of the decade in, and kept at it. Now it's finally paying off at the big boy baseball there.
So great to see Northeast Ohio baseball players making it to the big leagues. I know the Seattle Mariners, they have a few guys on their roster right now on the Mariners squad from the Northeast Ohio area. So we'll see if Rouse can join those guys in the big leagues one day.
Yeah, that'd be an awesome thing to see. And obviously, we know here we got the Frontier League not too far away if he ever needs to return, get some more pitches, and make his way back up.
Close take there by Burke, and evens the count at 2-2.
And that's a beautiful thing about that journey of baseball. It can take you so many places, right?
Indeed it can. Burke putting up a good at-bat. He fouls it off once again behind home plate. And we'll redo it at 2-2.
Well, and you can tell he's having a good time up there with the, like you said, that first at-bat because he smiled, turned away, fouling off another pitch there.
The 2-2 offering. Just misses up high with that off-speed pitch. Full count on Burke.
So we'll see what this this matchup gets here with Conlon and a fellow first-time varsity player right here.
Just a tad low for ball 4. Leadoff walk to start the 4th for the Blue Devils. Bring it back to the top of the order. Brant Almaty, a single and a ground out. 1 for 2 on the day. High for ball 1. And you gotta wonder, Max, in this situation with both teams using pitchers that normally do not pitch for them at the varsity level, you gotta wonder in a close game like this, how long do you keep both the starting pitchers in?
Oh, yeah, and there's definitely the competitive spirit that both of these, not only teams have, but obviously these coaches. You want to be smart, and, you know, they're going to calculate those risks here. But, you know, I think both pitchers have been able to navigate out some tough spots themselves.
Because in reality, it does count as a game, a varsity game, but this is more like of a scrimmage for both teams getting ready for the playoffs tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's, you know, you don't want that at the front of their heads because then you're afraid maybe that'll impact what they do or how they play. And right there, another pickoff attempt. Brunswick able to get back. And so, yeah, it will be interesting to see. And then who do you even turn to if you do decide to go to a bullpen, so to speak?
In there for a strike, 3-1. And, yeah, it's tough because both teams, they really don't have a lot of pitchers on their staff. They have about 5 to 6 pitchers. So you got to wonder who they're going to go to if a pitching change is made. And it looks like Columbia might have to change here soon. Keep this a 3-2 ball game. Back-to-back walks to start the 4th for John Conlon.
Well, we got an eye over in the Brunswick bullpen. They've got 2 guys warming up down the first base side. We'll see however long this inning goes on. We may go check and see what Columbia's got working over there in theirs.
I can't see anyone warming up from here. Don't think Columbia has anyone warming up. Jacob Miller takes a strike. Hit by pitch and has walked today. Came around to score his last time up back in the 3rd. The 0-1. Bounced in there. Good block by Sorensen.
You know, for Sorensen, I guess you can say this for both catchers. Even though it is a little lower stakes and, like you said, a more scrimmage style, exhibition style, they still got a lot of work on their plates.
The 1-1. Just low. 2-1. The pitch from Conlon. High, 3-1.
As they are giving Conlon a chance to kind of work out of the situation here. Still no outs on the board right now.
The 3-1. High for ball 4. So 3 straight walks to start the inning for John Conlon. And Andrew Sorensen is going to go out and have a chat.
We saw it earlier in the game. He was able to go and not even really take a mound visit, but just check in on him from behind the plate. Now we'll go a little more in depth here.
Pitching coach going out and having a chat with John Conlon, making his first varsity start here today Nobody warming up in the Raiders bullpen. It is confirmed by our producer, Chris. So this is John Collins' inning as of now, but he has the toughest hitter in the Brunswick lineup coming up, Elijah Poindexter. He's 0 for 2 on the day, but both of them were loud flyouts.
That they were, and we'll see if he's got another one in him for Brunswick. Obviously, that would get this crowd on senior day to go wild, but for Conlon, I do believe this is, you got to have those growing experiences and figure out how to get yourself out of situations. The only way you can really do it is it's tough to practice it. You got to get in game reps, and he's getting that opportunity right here.
Poindexter has 3 home runs on the season. That leads the Brunswick team as he pops it up back behind home plate and out of play for strike 1.
You can tell he's feeling aggressive here. He was swinging all the way on that first one. I imagine if it's anywhere near the zone, we'll see him do it again.
Definitely sitting fastball in this at-bat is Elijah Poindexter. Bounced in there, gets stopped by Sorensen. Evens the count at 1-1. Brunswick as a team this season, they have hit 13 home runs, now 14, thanks to the home run by Riley Turnick.
Who's on deck even right now.
The 1-1. High, 2-1. Yeah, it's a good point there, Max. Turnick on deck, who hit the 2-run homer back in the 3rd.
Yeah, so even if you do escape right here against Poindexter, it does not get much easier.
The 2-1. Smash down the left field line, fair ball. 1 run scores. Here comes Almaty. He scores. It's a 2-run single for Elijah Poindexter, and Brunswick has blown it open. They lead 5-2.
This fight, Poindexter was rounding first. He was ready to keep on moving, but the quick throw that time in from left field was able to keep Jacob Miller at second base. So Nolan Burke for Brunswick gets to score his first career run in his varsity time here with Brunswick. Notable from that last scoring play.
And now it brings up the cleanup man, Riley Turnick, the designated hitter. A 2-run homer his last time up. Smash down the right field line, but this one is definitely foul. And that went over the fence with all the fans in right field. That almost hit the school.
Yeah, luckily there's a few fans maybe over there to go corral that, but yeah, he's showing off. He can be quite the pole hitter if he wants to be.
Can play home run derby, too.
Yeah.
The 0-1. Foul back out of play. And Turnick in the hole 0-2.
And all things considered right now, if you're Conlon, I mean, you set yourself up nicely here, getting him to go after some pitches. Now you can afford to work with a few maybe out of the zone here. We'll see.
The 0-2. Popped up on the infield. Calling for it is North. And makes the catch. Even if he doesn't make the catch, the infield fly rule is in effect. But Columbia gets a huge first out.
A real nice response there. Conlon, that allows you to take a little deep breath right there and reset things, and now you can hopefully, if you're Columbia, work some force plays here, maybe turn 2.
You would love to get the twin killer if you're Columbia, but Caden Dreiss, he's 2 for 2 on the day. Has a double and a single.
Well, you almost wonder with that. He's obviously got some confidence coming into this at bat. If you can maybe get him to swing at maybe not one of your best pitches, force it into the infield.
The 1-0. Drops in there for a strike, evens the count at 1-1. I know John Conlon wants to do anything to get out of this inning.
Well, he's used the off-speed pitches sparingly, but very strategically.
The 1-1 delivery. Just misses, 2-1. Columbia already have given up 2 here in the inning thanks to a 2-run single by Elijah Poindexter. Bounced in there, and that gets past Sorensen to the backstop. Both runners move up 90 feet.
Just as Obviously, we were talking about it there. Now that it's out the window, and you just whatever you can to get the play at first.
Infield in for Columbia. The 3-1. Bloop to left field. Coming in is Rust. And he can't make the play. It drops for a base hit. 2 runs come in to score. It's a 2-run single for Caden Dreiss. 7-2 Brunswick. Brunswick now with 4 runs in the inning.
As now Dan Durante will head out to the mound, checks in on his freshman pitcher, and maybe give him a chance to give his fist bumps and head out. As he, got to see some quality things from him and a lot of stuff he can build on moving forward in his career.
Bright future for the Columbia Raider. We have a timeout. We have a pitching change here at Heron Park. 7-2 Brunswick. Seven to our score. Brunswick has scored 4 runs in the inning, and it forces Dan Durante to bring a new pitcher. Logan North, who came in from second base, will now take over on the mound for Columbia, and Logan Mengi, who was the designated hitter, enters the game at second base. Logan North on the season making his 4th appearance. This is his first relief appearance in 18 innings of work. He's given up 2 runs, 1 of those earned. Doesn't have a record as he steps in to face Kyle Smigla. Fouled out of play, third base side. North has walked 1 batter, has struck out 4. Coming in with an ERA of 2.33. High evens the count at 1-1.
And we seen obviously this past inning a lot of movement, having a lot of hits going on, but not really much in North's direction. So it's been a little bit since he's used that arm. Only got around 8 warm-up pitches before this.
Low and outside, 1-1 or 2-1 the count.
So it may take us take him a batter or two to kind of getting the feel of things up there.
Throw back over, back safely is Dreiss. And you got to assume with Logan North pitching today, he's not going to pitch tomorrow in the playoff game.
Yeah, and you said this was his first time in relief. So
yeah, this is true. So, yeah.
We know Mangy will likely hold that down tomorrow.
Outside, 3-1. North, one of the seniors on this Columbia Raiders squad, trying to get out of this inning. 3-1. Low for ball 4. So the free pass has hurt the Raiders here in this inning. That is now the 4th walk of the inning.
Yeah, second time Smigler's been able to get on base via a walk, so he's been real patient out there.
Travis Cornelio up to the plate, 0 for 2. Flew out his last time up back in the 3rd. Swing and a miss. He was trying to send that to left field with that swing.
Yeah, he's trying to get that well beyond the reach of the forest that's set up out there. Made that ball go missing.
And that plunks him in the back. Cornelio will take his base, and now the bases are juiced once again for the Blue Devils.
And it's interesting with Gavin Moore stepping in. We've mainly seen him as more of a conservative, batting conservatively here today with just the walk and the ground out so far, but he did draw out the previous count.
Corners are in for Columbia. The 9th man to bat in the inning is Gavin Moore. On the ground to 3rd. Smith fires to home plate and gets the out there, and that's all Columbia will get. 2 down.
On a real heads-up play there, because with Gavin Moore's speed, even if you get the throw over to second, not really sure you were going to be able to win that and be able to turn 2 at first, especially with no umpire right on top of the base.
Gavin Moore, the speedy center fielder for Brunswick. A good decision there by Smith. So that will bring up another pinch hitter for Brunswick. We don't have him on our roster, but it is Tyler something.
Well, and then it's this number 9 spot. They've been real comfortable with working a few different players in here, getting them some varsity playing time.
In there for a strike. So Nolan Burke, he started the inning by pinch hitting for Logan Nettles, and now Tyler, last name not known, is pinch hitting for Nolan Burke. 2-1 is outside, 3-1 the count on number 17, Tyler.
Either way, he's got a chance to make quite the impression here with bases loaded.
The 3-1. Draws the bases loaded walk. Brunswick gets another run. It's 8-2. Coming in to score is Smigla. Back to the top of the order. Brant Almaty takes a strike. Almaty walked earlier in this inning and came around to score.
And that's a trip as a hitter. You already bat once, you get to go again here, and still got a chance to threaten to score.
Bounced in there, good stop by Sorensen. Yeah, you're having a good inning offensively when you get to bat twice in one inning.
Yeah, sometimes, a lot of times you don't even get to go back-to-back innings, let alone the same one.
The 1-1. High, 2-1. Cornelio at third, Moore at first, the mysterious Tyler at first. Fly ball, center field. Rivera on the run, makes the catch to end the inning. Brunswick, they put up a crooked number here in the 4th. They score 5 times, and they lead 8-2. Fifth inning here at Heron Park. Columbia now down big to Brunswick 8-2 after that 5-run fourth inning by the Blue Devils. A couple of defensive changes for Brunswick. Tyler Peters is the mysterious Tyler who batted earlier in the fourth inning. He takes over at second base for Logan Nettles. And Colton Sulima, he takes over for Caden Dreiss at first base. I believe those are all the defensive changes we have. We're not notified, unfortunately. We just have to look.
That's right. Yeah, we don't have all the luxuries that MLB press box comes with. Speaking of that MLB, tune into the Guards on WOBL tonight.
Taking on the Nationals. Need to have a bounce-back performance after yesterday.
That they do, as we're getting close to the score we saw yesterday for that one. With the Nationals winning 10-2, but 13:20 a.m. and 107.7 FM.
Jose Rivera up to the plate. He had a single his last time up, along with a stolen base, came around to score in that third inning. Is 1 for 2 on the day. Sheely's still out there. His 2-1. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch there by Sheely. Evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, that's got to be another great thing for him if you're the Brunswick coaching staff. He's finding a way to go longer in these games here and figure out little tricks along the way.
The 2-2. Outside. Full count on Rivera. Jose Rivera, the football star for Columbia. Trying to start a rally for the Raiders here on the diamond. The payoff pitch. Bounced in there for ball 4. So 4 out of the 5 innings, Columbia has had their leadoff man aboard. And they're trying to take advantage here in the 5th in a big way to crawl their way back into this one.
And that was, you could tell he was eyeing that one up the whole way down. I mean, he was turning away and throwing the bat, I think, before the ball even got to the dirt that time.
Jacob Rust up to the plate. Struck out looking his last time up back in the 3rd. Shows bunt, pops it up, and foul. Ooh. Travis Cornelo almost had a play there.
Yeah, that would have taken a Herculean effort at dive to get a hold of that one, but almost. And we'll see Russ look over down to his coach there. We'll see if he sticks with it.
Not a bad idea if your head coach, Dan Durante, trying to get something going. Shows bunt again, this time down the third base line. It's a good one. Russ, hustling over to first, is thrown out by Sheely. The sacrifice is complete as Rivera moves over to second.
Yeah, good job just waiting on it there. He sat on it that time, let it come to him and laid it down, hitting the grass first. And I thought that was almost going to bail him out as it slowed it down with Sheely heading towards it and still able to rifle it over to first for the out.
Andrew Sorensen up to the plate. Takes high for ball 1. Andrew Sorensen, 3-sport athlete, plays football for the Columbia Raiders, also wrestles for the Raiders. And now in the diamond for the Raiders here in the springtime. A very busy student athlete is Andrew Sorensen.
Definitely.
Smash first base side, and it drops foul.
And, as a former wrestling guy yourself, I want to know this. Does that translate really well to catching, would you say? Because obviously he's done a great job today.
It builds up toughness, I guess, if you're blocking balls in the dirt and just powering through catching all the time, because no one likes to catch a lot of games in a row.
A lot of dirty work involved.
The 1-1. Bounced in there. That gets away from Cornelo, and head to third is Rivera. So he's 90 feet away, and it's a 2-1 count on Sorensen. As an umpire, when you have games every day, you don't want to do plate every day, so you try to switch it off. I'm sure Sorensen tries to do the same thing, even though he's the primary catcher for the Raiders.
So as much as he can, really.
The 2-1. Chopped to short. Miller gloves it, fires over to first in time, Head home is Rivera on the throw. He scores. It's an 8-3 ball game, and there are 2 down.
Real aggressive, but nice base running there from Jose Rivera. He was waiting to see where the shortstop was going to go, and normally you still sit on and wait at your base, but he knows they need those runs.
Great base running there by Jose Rivera. We talked about it earlier. Leads the team in stolen bases, using that elite speed to get a run across here in the 5th. Ryan Smith, the tall sophomore, takes the first pitch strike. Boy, has he had a good day. 2 for 2 on the day with 2 singles and an RBI. The 0-1. Low. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, he's also, he's got the run to go with it today, and he's among 5 other Raiders that have double-digit runs and runs batted in this season. It's real nice when you can get that up and down your lineup.
Good take there by Smith. Two and 1 the count. Chopped foul, third base side. Durante's players are giving it to him at the coach's box down the third base line, telling him, Coach, you should have fielded that ground ball.
Well, that's what he knows he's got to have. He'll get the next one if it comes his way.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. And that will end the inning. Columbia, they get one across here in the 5th. Still down big over the Blue Devils. It's 8-3.
We've done out of county in the past for
Bottom of the 5th, Brunswick leads 8-3. Jacob Miller up to the plate. Miller with 3 free passes here today, 2 walks and a hit by pitch. And we actually have a pinch hitter for Jacob Miller. It is Landon Jack as he takes low for ball 1. So Landon Jack getting his first plate appearance of the day. Jack 1 for his last 8 with an RBI. In 18 games this season, batting .409. 17 RBIs, tied for the team lead. You got to wonder, Max, with stats like that, why did head coach Grant Relic not start him in the first place?
Yeah, and maybe not get as much tread on the tires in a way.
Chopped to third, backhanded by Smith, can't field it cleanly, fires over to first. It's way offline, and Jack is awarded first base to start the 5th.
Well, honestly, I think that's the most ideal way for him to get involved here, even if it is later in the game. You get a chance to have him run out a grounder, and that way he doesn't go too cold sitting on that bench ahead of their next game or in that dugout for their next game, get see him hit a little bit of top speed, if you will, and use those muscles.
Or maybe he has an injury that he wants to make sure it doesn't get worse. I don't know. Just very odd.
Well, either way, though, you save him and keep him as fresh as possible. I know baseball's a little different than maybe football or basketball without the physical component.
To me, that feels like putting Jose Ramirez in the game in the 7th inning in a pinch hit appearance.
Now, what if I pitched it to you like this? If it was game 160, how does that factor into the equation?
Yeah, I guess
but
so. Yeah, I see your point.
But still, there's a lot of ways to look at it. You're right. You are right there.
The 2-0 is low and outside. Elijah Poindexter at the plate for Brunswick. Had a 2-run single his last time up to really blow this open for Brunswick. 1 for 3 overall today.
Well, we know it could be even, his stats could be even more so if it wasn't for some great fielding.
He draws the walk, and the first 2 have reached for Brunswick here to start the 5th. Riley Turnick up to the plate, the designated hitter, 1 for 3, had a 2-run homer back in the 3rd. He takes high for ball 1. We don't have the heights of the players, but Brunswick is a very tall team, including Turnick. Got to be at least 6 foot, no?
Yeah, and it's definitely impacting these strike zones today. I think that's fair to say.
Popped up on the infield. Calling for it is Mengi on the edge of the grass. Makes the catch for out number 1. I'm glad they saw that because at first I didn't.
It took a moment in the clouds there, but I was able to see it just enough. And you know, for Mengi, it's good that he gets that rep. So just like we talked about a batter ago or a couple batters ago, Landon Jack getting a chance just not maybe shake off rust, but just maintain where he's at. Mengi right there getting to field a routine play and make it happen.
Colton Sulima, who came in the game at first base for Caden Dreiss, will now pinch hit for Caden Dreiss. Sulima had a big 4 RBI game not too long ago against one of our Lorain County teams, Avon Lake. He went 1 for 3 in that game with a bases clearing double and an RBI walk. Overall this season, Sulima has just played in 8 games, batting .200.
He's looking to increase that here, and obviously a couple more players on base to maybe get more RBIs.
Everyone getting those reps in before the playoff game tomorrow. Brunswick will take on the 3-seed Glen Oak, and Columbia, they will also take on the 3-seed Chippewa. Both road games for both of these teams. Swing and a miss. Brunswick, the 10-seed in their bracket. And Columbia, the 15th seed. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Logan North, he gets his first strikeout of the day. 2 down.
Yeah, real nice at bat there, attacking the zone, and you know it appeared like he knew he was going against the guy making his first plate appearance today, and he was able to win that battle.
Kyle Smigla up to the plate. 2 walks on the day. Came around to score back in the 4th as he takes a first pitch strike. Brunswick, they had the big inning back in the 4th. They scored 5 times. Columbia trying to keep this a 5-run game, run out of time. Low evens the count at 1-1. North, he started the game at second, but came in for John Conlon, making his first varsity start of the season here today for the Raiders. Came in back in the 4th. Called a strike, 1-2.
And for Conlon, you know, a number of things to take away, but just be able to say I was able to get a varsity start by the end of my freshman season. I mean, I don't know the percentage, but I know a majority of players, they don't get to say that.
I think that's a win-win either way, because you get to pitch today, and then most likely you're going to be supporting your team tomorrow in the playoff game.
Yeah, and then, going into the off season, maybe some things you want to work on, things you can take away from that start that, okay, I did this well, but here's a checklist of things I can do to get better.
What's interesting about Columbia's team is they do have some football players on this roster, so some of them might be playing summer ball. Some of them might be getting ready for football, so that goes into a big factor in the offseason for the Raiders. That
too, and either way, you're going to be forced to be pretty well conditioned if you are somehow involved in both.
The payoff pitch, fouled back. Yeah, you're either going to improve. I think you're going to get stronger either way. Baseball lifting or football lifting. So everyone will be getting stronger this offseason. Working on some footwork, whether that's baseball or football. Those are some things that are commonly known in the sports world, especially for baseball and football. Yeah. The 3-2. Blooped to right center field. Coming in is Rivera and makes the catch to end the inning. Brunswick threatens, but they do not score. We'll head to the 6th here on the Lorain County Sports Network on YouTube. Sixth inning here at Heron Park. Columbia down 8-3 over the Blue Devils. New pitcher for the Blue Devils, it's right-hander Luke Tomasumis. Taking over for the starter, Joey Sheely. Sheely, 5 innings of work. Gave up 3 runs as Tomasumis faces the bottom part of the order, 8-9-1. Carter Hess leads it off for the Raiders.
Tomasumis, another one of those guys we anticipate making his varsity debut.
Wasn't on the varsity roster, so we talked about at the top of the hour. A lot of players seen some action today that might be on the JV squad, and you're right, Max. Tomasumis making his first start most likely today. Blooped into right field for a base hit. A leadoff single to start the 6th for Columbia. So every inning except for the 4th inning, Max, Columbia has gotten their leadoff man aboard. They were able to take advantage of it in the 2nd, 3rd, and the 5th. And they want to take advantage of it and even then some here to try to get back into this one. What is the plan of attack if you're Columbia?
Well, I'll say it speaks to the aggressiveness of those first hitters. However, the pitching we've seen from Brunswick, they've been able to respond and really attack the zone. So you got to know a hit's coming.
On the ground to third, and it goes underneath the glove of Elijah Poindexter.
What I mean by that, and it's kind of showcased right there, you know they like to attack the zone after facing that first batter. And a good job by Sanders that time of being aware of that. And he just, on the second pitch, was able to pull that one down the left field side.
So this is an interesting move by head coach Dan Durante. Liam Tran is pinch hitting for Carter Dooley, the Lorain County Mr. Baseball nominee. Liam Tran is just a freshman. And he's batting .242 on the year. He's quickly in the hole 0-2. Tran with a golden opportunity here for Columbia. The 0-2. Outside, and that gets to the backstop. Both runners move up 90 feet.
That's Liam Tran. He's got a few RBIs this year, but it's those extra base hits he's been searching for, and one would be huge here.
Takes a curveball for strike 3. He's out looking. One down here in the 6th.
So we'll have another pinch hitter here.
David Boyle. He will pinch hit for Logan North. He takes a first pitch strike.
And I do think this speaks to some awareness from Dan Durante and where they're at in this game and where they're looking to be tomorrow. So just want to be precautionary.
David Boyle, he's only had 13 at-bats this season, batting .200. Foul tips it out of the glove of Cornelo, and he's in the hole 1-2.
Well, and speaking of Cornelo, and along with Andrew Sorensen, who we'll see if we see him again here, but just great versatility to work with all these pitchers today by both of them.
Bounce in there. That goes off the umpire's chest protector, and in to score is Carter Hess. Wesley Sanders moves over to third. It's an 8-4 ball game. So that went off Cornelo and the home plate umpire. The 2-2. Foul back.
Our crowd might go feel the effects of that one.
Yeah, I got part of the net and the crowd mic.
Yeah.
What a take there by Boyle. 3-2.
With the runner on third, we'll see how aggressive he is here in the full count.
The payoff pitch. Called strike 3. Boyle is out looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Luke Tomasumis. And there are 2 down.
So I do believe that Carter Dooley re-entering the game here.
So Carter Dooley, who was in the leadoff spot, is now batting in the 3 spot. So Carter Dooley up to the plate. Smashes it back up the middle for base hits. Coming in to score is Sanders. And it's an 8-5 Brunswick lead. Columbia itching closer to the Blue Devils here in the 6th.
You talk about situational hitting there. I mean, no one better than your leadoff hitter. And hey, if you can slot him back a couple spots, real heads-up move there by the coaching staff of Columbia. Oh man, he wasn't even able to get his slide glove on fully before that pickoff attempt came.
Logan North now in the spot of Jose Rivera. I'm not missing something, am I?
No, I think so. Possibly the pitching change may have moved some things around here with the order, but that's my best guess at it, partner.
I've never seen something like this here on the Lorain County Sports Network, where you start in one spot and then go to another. Swing and a miss. North in the hole 0-2.
And this is maybe that component that we talked about early on of this being more of a game for reps and then getting guys chances to play.
Dooley heads to second. It doesn't matter. North strikes out swinging, and that ends the inning. Columbia, they strike for 2 here in the 6th. It's now a 3-run game as we head to the bottom of the half here at Heron Park. Bottom of the 6th, 8-5 our score. We've been informed by the Columbia dugouts that Columbia and Brunswick agreed to add 2 additional hitters to their lineup, so there was no pinch hit appearances. They just added 2 hitters to the lineup and then continued after that. That's why we were confused with Dooley and North batting. So Liam Tran, along with David Boyle, were essentially the 10 and 11th hitters of the Columbia lineup, and then it went back to Dooley and then on to Logan North. Chopped to short. Dooley has it, fires over to first, and the throw is wide. And safe at first to start the inning is Travis Cornelo.
And an impressive job to dig that one out on the base paths, but that's one that Dooley, he's kicking himself for because he did a great job fielding that. That was a hot bounce off of the grass there, so he was able to collect it in time, just rushed the throw a tad bit.
After all those additional hitters that Columbia had, they did make one defensive change. Liam Tran is now in the ballgame at catcher, taking over for Andrew Sorensen as Gavin Moore swings and misses for strike 1. Gavin Moore reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. Overall, 0 for 2 on the day. The 0-1. Bounced in there. Good stop by Tran. Logan North still out there after taking over in the 4th inning for the starter, John Conlon.
As he was able to get a strikeout last inning for the Raiders.
Bunted by Moore, and it's foul. 1-2 the count.
And you see Gavin Moore kind of spike the bat right there because he knows now that'll put him down in the count when he had a decent chance to move his teammate Cornelo over.
You know, I just realized, Max, I think this is the first game where my papers have not been blown off the table. Because usually we've had a windy spring.
That's right. Yeah, we've been using the flags out in center field as a reference. We should have just been looking right under our noses, honestly.
No flag to reference today. 2-2 the count on Moore. The pitch. Bounce in there. That get passes Tran. And headed to second is Cornelo.
Season, they're standing up.
Full count on Gavin Moore. Cornelo in scoring position. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Logan North gets his first strikeout of the inning. 1 down. So that will bring up, now we know as Tyler Peters. Tyler pinched hit for Nolan Burke back in that huge 4th inning. Had an RBI bases loaded walk. The 0-1. Excuse me, check swing. Fouled back behind home plate and out of play. Peters giving a little smile. He knew he shouldn't have swung at that high pitch.
Well, and even if he had already documented that in his head, the dugout made sure to remind him of it. That's the camaraderie of baseball, man.
The 0-2. High. That time he didn't chase. 1-2.
Yeah, North working with house money on that pitch. He said, you know, if he thought about that one on the previous pitch, maybe we'll try it one more time, but Peter's able to lay off.
The 1-2. Good take there by Peters. Evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, it's made so much tougher when right there you see North working each end of the strike zone right there. The last 3 pitches were all really high right there at the knees.
Off the glove of Tran. Staying at second is Cornelo. And it's a full count on Tyler Peters. North gets the sign from Tran. Here's the payoff pitch. And it clipped Peters. So Peters with 2 free passes here today. And now Brunswick with 2 runners on with 1 out here in the 6th.
And we really haven't seen him with chances to bat with runners on and a runner in scoring position at that.
Back to the top of the order, Brant Almaty takes a strike. Almaty, 1 for 4 on the day, flew out back in the 4th, has scored 2 runs today. Outside, evens the count at 1-1. The 1-1 offering in there for a strike. 1-2.
And Almaty a little bit taken aback there because that's a pitch that's been on the borderline called ball sometimes today. So North gained the favorable location on it.
The 1-2. Chopped to short. Dooley goes with the backhand, fires over to first. Not in time. Carter Hess, he had to come off the back and field that cleanly, or that would have been in foul ground, first base side along the fence.
Well, did you see I think he just used his throwing hand there. He had the left hand to secure that. Didn't even have to get the glove involved there to save it from going into foul play.
A bare hand snag by Hess. It's an infield single for Brant Almaty. The bases are loaded once again for Brunswick for Jacob Miller. Outside for ball 1. Miller, 3 free passes here today. 2 walks and a hit by pitch. Fouled back and off the glove of Tran for strike 1.
We've seen a few times today the Columbia defense facing bases loaded, but we haven't seen them been able to get out of an inning, get out of a jam through some fielding heroics like on a double play.
The 0-1, foul back, out of play. 1-2 the count, or 1-2 the count on Jacob Miller. The 1-2 offering. Miller able to get a piece of it and stays alive.
I think that's impressed me more than anything today honestly from both lineups is the amount of fouled pitches or fouled off pitches that we've seen, especially when they're down in the count. Just speaks to them taking that coaching to heart and knowing they're never out of an at-bat.
Bounced in there, great stop by Tran. 2-2 the count. That's huge because Brunswick trying to score some insurance runs here in the 6th.
Well, we've already seen Cornelio get a stolen base this inning. You know, he'd be dying to get another one right there.
The 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Logan North gets a huge second out.
He's able to blow that one right past him. And what's his reward, Jared? He gets Elijah Poindexter up next here.
Poindexter blew it open in the 4th with a 2-run single overall, 1 for 3 on the day with a walk. High fly ball, center field. Rivera camping under it. Makes the catch to end the inning. We head to the 7th. Columbia down to their last 3 outs, down by 3 here on the Lorain County Sports Network on YouTube. Last chance for Columbia. 8-5 our score as we head to the 7th here at Heron Park. Columbia, they had an early 2-1 lead in this one, but it's been all Brunswick since then. Brunswick, they had a huge 4th inning. They scored 5 times. And Brunswick also has a 2-run homer thanks to Riley Turnick. Columbia, they have fought their way back. They were down by as many as 6. They have cut it in half, and Logan Mengi will reach first base on the hit by pitch to start the 7th. Not the traditional way you want to get on base to start the inning, but Columbia has gotten their leadoff man aboard every single time except for the 4th here today, and they need to have the biggest inning here. They want to tie this one back up.
Oh, that's what's important, right? Just find a way to get on there, and obviously, you know, with him pitching tomorrow, you gotta be careful where he gets hit, obviously. Be cautious of that.
Jose Rivera swings and misses for strikes 1. Has scored 2 runs today. 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Thought about it. Takes the bender for a strike, and he's in the hole 0-2.
Well, those runs he's been able to get today, they were by definition, manufactured with the way he's been able to get around the bases. See if he gets another chance here. Ooh.
Throw back over to first. Mengi back in safely. And you're right, Max. Jose Rivera has a couple of stolen bases today, and he used his speed to manufacture a run his last time up. That gets away from Cornelo, and Mengi heads to second. He's in scoring position. One, two, the count on Rivera. The pitch. Outside, 2-2. Luke Tomasumis took over in the sixth after Joey Sheely, the starter, went 5 innings. Inside, good take there by Rivera, 3-2.
He nods in approval in direction of the umpire, and now he's worked this count out to what he can do.
Chop to third. Tough play for Poindexter. Fires over to first. And in time to retire Rivera. Moving over to third is Mengi. And there is one down.
And that's a kind of play there from Poindexter to remind us, hey, I'm not just a guy in the batter's box. I'll make it happen over in the field, too. Great play.
Jacob Rust up to the plate. Had a sacrifice bunt his last time up. Takes a strike. Columbia, they have manufactured a run the last 2 innings. Popped up. Coming in is the right fielder, Smigla, and he makes the catch.
Almost thought that went far enough, but Mengi, he turned down, ran back after giving the initial thought.
So 2 down. As Max mentioned, Mengi still at third. And the last hope for Columbia is Andrew Sorensen. 0 for 3 on the day, had an RBI ground out his last time up.
Well, he's also had a break from catching behind the plate. We'll see if that maybe gives him a boost here. I know for some guys, if you take him out of the field, it can affect them in a number of ways.
The 2-0. On the inside corner for a strike, 2-1. Chop to second. Going to be a tough play. The first baseman is going to take it, and he throws out Sorensen to end the game. Tough play there by Colton Sulima, but he gets the final out, and that will end this one here at Heron Park. Columbia, they fall to Brunswick 8-5 to close out the regular season. Columbia with the loss, they move to 12-9 on the season. Brunswick with the win, they move to 12-13. Getting the win for Brunswick is Joey Sheely. He moves to 1-0. Taking the loss for Columbia is John Collin. He takes the loss in his first varsity start, 0-1. And then getting the save for Brunswick is Luke Tomasumis, his first save of the season. Max, it was an exciting one here today, but Columbia just couldn't do enough on the mound to get the victory here today.
Yeah, and as we see the coaches embrace there, that's what this was more so about, is getting these teams to continue to be playoff ready and carry on. And it still, like you said, led to an entertaining matchup, and we got to see probably a lot of unique situations for a number of these players on both sides.
Both of these games playing playoff games tomorrow. We are going to keep an eye out for Columbia. They will head to Chippewa to take on the 3 seed. If they win that game, they will head to the district championship. We'll be keeping an eye out for them. As for this game here, we have to take a look at our Lane Optical Player of the Game in Elyria. See the difference. And today's Lane Optical Player of the Game goes to Caden Dreiss of Brunswick. He was 3 for 3 today, had a double, 2 singles, and drove in 3 runs. He had a big day for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, and there was a number of guys to choose from that batting order, but his consistency really came through, and it was also what helped them separate. And realistically, they got some insurance runs out of it that they ended up needing.
That was the difference, that huge 4th inning, and that's going to conclude the Dovin and Reber Jones Funeral Home and Cremation Center postgame show, where families come together and remember. That's going to do it from Heron Park. Once again, everybody, our final score, Brunswick 8, Columbia 5. He's Max Drummond. I'm Jared Vinecourt. Good luck to all the Lorain County teams this postseason.